Hey movers and shakers, welcome to your first episode of Cleveland Vibrator Company's The Shakedown, where we talk about all things vibration education from some of our best experts in the industry. Today we're going to talk with Mike Stratus, and the topic today is going to be industrial vibrators, what not to do when you're installing them on your medium. So Mike, welcome.
Hello.
Tell us a little bit about yourself today.
Sure. Mike Stratus, Cleveland Vibrator Company. A little bit about me. My wife and I have 3 kids, oldest being 5. It's completely chaotic in our house all the time. I'm an expert at 3-putting on the golf course and finishing last in fantasy football for our company league. Director of sales with the company, and I've been with us since 2013.
Awesome. I can vouch, his fantasy football skills not up to par. Good fun. So Mike, let's talk a little bit about your blog. Why is the installation of vibrators so important?
You know, we always say it's not the vibrator that's the problem, it's the installation of the vibrator that's the problem. It's just like anything else. If you have the right tool but you use it in the wrong way, you're going to lead to problems.
All right. And there are a lot of topics and resources out there that discuss what to do when installing an industrial vibrator. You took a different approach. Why did you choose to talk about what not to do?
You know, there are a lot of resources out there. Everyone has their own operations manual for the perfect install and what exactly to do. But who reads operations manuals when you get one?
Nobody.
Right, exactly. So we wanted to focus on the main things of it. If you do everything else wrong, just don't do these things. And that's where we focused on a couple of main points.
So these are all topics that you've come across from customers, real life experience out in the field?
Oh yeah, we've got plenty of pictures documenting exactly what not to do, and customers say, hey, we're having a problem, this is what happens. We ask, can you tell us more, and send us a picture, and we immediately see a common theme of a few things that they're doing that we're trying to prevent from happening again.
So how can this information benefit people in various industries? How different industries may handle proper installations differently based on their material and what's best for their operation?
Sure, it's a great question. Now, we're making stuff to shake stuff, so regardless of the industry or the product, we have methodologies that we use and put in place and want our customers to follow so that our tool helps them do their job better. That could be for agriculture industry, that could be for plastics, powdered metal, mining industry, food industry, anybody handling dry bulk material that has material in bins, hoppers, chutes, or pipes. We can help you shake that the correct way.
We're going to delve a little bit into the blog that you wrote, some of the topics and points that you brought up here. One of the points that you brought up initially was to not continuously weld a square or rectangular mounting channel or plate to the structure being vibrated. Can you explain why the welding style is so important and how it can affect the performance of the vibrator over time?
Sure, of course. We are trying to shake something, and when we continuously weld, we're restricting that shaking action. So for example, if a vibrator is on a hopper, we want that hopper wall to flex. If it's continuously welded, we can't flex and it becomes rigid. So anytime somebody sends us a picture of a cracked hopper wall next to their mounting channel, first thing we look at is the welds, and 90+% of the time it's going to be a solid weld.
And there are great pictures available on this blog to see exactly what we're talking about that were supplied from out in the field. Next, you mentioned to not forget to tighten the mounting bolts holding the vibrator to the channel or the plate. Is tightening the mounting bolts a common issue that you see out in the field?
It is not nearly as common as the solid welds, but again, we are shaking something, and anytime we start applying vibration, it's going to want to start loosening the bolts. So we recommend retightening those bolts after you initially install and run for a few days, and just make sure that the threads are engaged and will not allow the vibrator to separate. If you have loose bolts, vibration energy is less efficient as well, as you have things shaking, vibrators spending energy shaking against itself instead of trying to shake the wall.
So for optimal performance, you want to make sure you have the right torque on them bolts against the medium it's being vibrated. All right. We're going to shift gears now. We're going to talk about preparation for the type of power that the vibrator requires. Let's talk about the air-powered vibrators first. What kind of preparation should you be looking at to do, and what kind of protections need to be in place to make sure the vibrator is installed properly?
For the air-powered units, it's all about the air prep of the air going to the unit. So filtered, dry air is ideal for most units. Some units require lubrication, and if they do, we have information about how much lubrication to apply for each of the units. It's based on model and CFM consumption. Just like any other tool that you may have, operating it properly with the right supply going to it is going to give you the best results and last the longest.
And what about for electric powered units? What kind of preparation should our customers be putting into place to make sure that the vibrator can run at the optimal level it requires?
The biggest thing with electrics is your overloads or your fuses to protect the vibrator itself in case there's a surge in electrical power or something goes down, where you're at least not losing the vibrator. If there's a spike in voltage or amp draw, you can still protect your asset of the vibrator itself. When it comes to other electrical components, there's speed controllers or VFDs or starters. Those also have additional overload protection usually included, but we always enforce a separate independent overload per vibrator just to make sure it's safe.
Awesome. And this may answer the question just from the question itself, but what's the importance of a safety cable?
You're right, that is a pretty self-explanatory question. Look, there are times when welds break or bolts fail, and if it does, we do not want this 10, 20, 30-pound block of steel or metal to fall down onto any operator that may be below.
So safety first.
Safety first.
And the last recommendation is to not be afraid to reach out for help. How can the Cleveland Vibrator Company help our customers make sure they have the proper installation?
Sure. Our goal as a team, on the sales team, is to quickly respond to a customer asking us for help, give them the tools and guidance to help them solve the problem themselves if they'd like to. We have plenty of resources available online with our selection guide, where we give you the methodologies we have been using for almost 100 years to solve these type of problems. We know a bunch of people like to put the time and effort to solve stuff themselves these days with anything online. If not, you can call us up, email us at sales@clevelandvibrator.com, and we have a company goal to get back to you within a half a day, and we try to maintain that.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and we really appreciate your covering this topic and helping our viewers figure out what the best method is for installing our pieces of equipment on their pieces of equipment.
Sure, thanks for having me.
No problem. And if you would like to learn more about Cleveland Vibrator and all the solutions to keep you moving, we have a whole lot of content and vibration education available on our YouTube channel. Click this little button here to check it out. Or if anything, visit us at clevelandvibrator.com, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Till next time, movers and shakers.